Hi everyone, I'm Lynn from Finds of Yesterday. If you're new to our channel, I am a reseller of goods and I buy anything from clothing to vintage to jewelry, anything I can profit on. And I will resell them on eBay, Mercari, and Poshmark. And I've probably been doing this for about 2 years full time now. And this week we're going to go over 29 items that I sold this past week from May 18th through May 25th. And I sold about $630 worth of stuff, and that does not include shipping. The buyer pays shipping separately. So the average item's about $21, $22. And I've paid anywhere up to $2 for most of the items that I've sold. There is one item in particular I paid $7 for, and another one I paid $10, but I don't think I paid over $10 for any item that I'm talking about today. And stay tuned till the end of the video because we're going to talk about the winner and the loser of the week. So let's just jump right into it. Okay, let's get started. This first item that I sold this week of the 29 items is a St. Louis Cardinal spring training visor. And I'm surprised that people bought this. Maybe they were going to spring training and they couldn't go anymore. It's usually down in Jupiter, Florida, but I guess they just wanted a souvenir. So it was listed for $14.95 and I sold it on best offer for $12.50 and it was listed for 3 months. This next item is a set of 5 rusty antique padlocks from it's the St. Louis National Stockyards, I think it was. And I listed these just this week. I listed them and they sold the same day for $49.95. I got my full asking price. And the next item is my twin doll, which I got at an auction, and I bought 4 dolls for $26. So I paid about $6 for this doll. And she was listed for $69.95, and I got a lot of best offers on this, but I ended up selling it for $54.95, and all of these items are calculated shipping. I don't think there's any free shipping in these. I hardly ever do free shipping unless it's a tie, a men's tie, or something very small. Sometimes jewelry, I will do free shipping, but almost all my items are calculated shipping. So the next item that sold is this little vintage German cuckoo clock. It's a very small clock. It's only a couple inches tall, and it had some problems with it. It did have the key with it, but it's missing some things on the front. You can't really see so much, but it's missing something on the left side on that picture. But anyway, it was listed for $16.95, and I sent out best offers on this for $14.95, but hardly got any takers, and all of a sudden it sold for $16.95, the actual price, and I sold it in 1 month. The next item is this King's Grand Piano Music Jewelry Box. It's probably about 4 or 5 inches across, and it does not play the Piano Man, but it opens up and it holds jewelry. Where's the picture? It's really cute. It's sold for $13.95, the asking price, and I sold that within 1 month. The next item is this Incipio phone case, which I bought for myself for my S9, and I did not like the S9, so I traded it in for an S9 Plus, and this no longer fit, which I'd never even used the S9. I was having problems with it from the beginning, so I got a new phone. Anyway, I had this case left over, and I think I paid $7 for the case, so I turned around and just resold it for $12.95, and it took 3 months to sell at that price. If I would have had it up for less money, it probably would have sold faster. This next item is a Tommy Hilfiger women's jeans, and it was a size 12. It was listed for $24.95, and it sold for $24.95, but it took 9 months to sell. Some of these Tommy Hilfiger jeans don't sell if they don't have the big flag on the top. Um, yeah, I would probably not list Tommy Hilfiger anymore unless for some reason it's got a really unique design, and they paid shipping on that. This next item is a vintage Argus movie camera from 1959, and it was in really good shape and had the instruction booklet with it. And it was listed for $39.95. I had a lot of interest in it, but I just couldn't get anybody to buy it for $39.95. So it took 4 months, and I sold it for $28 on a best offer. This next shirt is a Carhartt men's shirt. And as you can see, I have problems trying to get my shirts to light up the way they should look. This is not really the best picture, but anyway, especially with black, I always have to lighten the the photo so it'll show the details on the black. But and then you can see sometimes it discolors it. But this shirt ended up selling in 2 months time frame for the asking price of $23.95. And it's a size 3XL, so they usually sell faster. The bigger sizes do. This next item is a skeleton shelf sitter. I have Halloween stuff that I decided to post, and I wanted to get them off my shelf, and I kept thinking I was going to wait till maybe midsummer. But I decided to go ahead and just start posting it because like I said, I'll be out shopping again here soon, hopefully, and getting new items in, and I need shelf space. So I started listing my Halloween stuff, and it's been selling. So you can list holiday stuff any time of year. The skeleton shelf sitter was about 6 inches tall, and there he has a seat to him. He doesn't stand up straight, but anyway, he sold for $14.95, the full asking price, and it sold the same day I listed it. So maybe I could have listed it for a little bit more, but who's to say? I got it sold. Tommy Hilfiger men's sweater vest. It was an extra large, which was a decent size, but this sweater vest sat for 4 months and it finally sold, but it sold on best offer of $15. So again, it's another Tommy Hilfiger, and they've been sitting longer. It seems to be taking them longer to sell. So I probably won't buy Tommy Hilfiger unless it's something very unique or big, bright, bold designs. This next item is a vintage Campbell's soup spoon, which there's quite a few of these listed, so I had to keep the price comparable to what has sold and what was listed. They were all under $10, and I don't normally list things for under $10 because it doesn't seem like it's worth my time, because doing a listing takes a while and researching it takes a little bit of time as well. So I mean, you can list things fast if you want to do it fast, but you're going to miss a lot of details, and I'm very particular with details. So $8.95 is about the lowest I would ever list anything for, and I got it in with an auction haul, so I decided to list it anyway, since I had it. It sold for $8.95, the asking price, and it sold in 11 days, so that was a good sale, and they paid calculated shipping on it. These Tommy Bahama shirts, I was so excited to find a whole bunch of Tommy Bahama items at a rummage sale, and they were all extra, extra large, 2 extra and 3 extra large, and I thought for sure they would sell faster, but when I listed these, it was I think it was November, so it was kind of a bad time of year for nice light short sleeve shirts, but usually you can still sell short sleeve shirts any time of year. But this, I have 4 listed, as you can see, in different colors. They're all the same size. They probably one person that owned them all, and it sold for $22.95. Again, it took 6 months to sell, and they paid calculated shipping. So right now I have the 3 other colors left, which are the burgundy, the green, and the peach. So we'll see how long they take, but that's probably something I'm going to hold off again buying. I love this little Fenton tobacco jar box. This was on, I bought it on an online auction, and a lot of people were bidding on this online auction, and all the Fenton pieces were going for high price. This particular item, they did not have Fenton wrote in the listing, and I think people did not realize it was a Fenton. But when you look in the top of the lid, in the little circle in the top of the lid, it says Fenton. Let's see if I can pull it up. You can barely see it there. In certain lights, certain angles, you can read the Fenton logo. So it sold for $47.45 on best offer. And I probably could have left it up and sold it for asking price, but it was so close that I just decided to go ahead and take it. So that they also paid calculated shipping, and it was not cheap to send because I put glass, when I ship glass, I put it in a box and then I put it in another box. And then I separate the lids from the container so that they're not clinking. There's nothing that will make them chip when they hit each other in the box as people are tossing them into their truck, their USPS truck. But that's a great sale, and it sold in 10 days. I had no problem selling it. Next item is a folk art black cat plush. They were hanging together, they were sewn together, so I got a lot of these. I think I have three more sets, two or three more sets that are not sewn together, and they're cute little primitive cats, and I got them as part of the auction. So I may not have bought them if I was out and about looking at items, but since I had them as part of my auction haul, I thought I might as well list them, and I'm glad I did. It's surprising what sells. So much of the stuff that I have listed are things that I probably wouldn't have thrifted if I was out and about. Sold them for $13.50 on best offer. I thought that was still a good price for these, even though they're listed at $14.95, but they paid shipping. This next one's a Harley Davidson men's t-shirt. Harley Davidson t-shirts supposedly sell well, but I have so many Harley Davidson shirts and have in the past that have taken a while to sell that I don't know if I'm going to source them unless it's a real unique design or something that's rare, more rare. But you can see that's the back of the shirt. This is the front. It's got your typical little logo on the front. It was a size large, so it wasn't a bad size. Extra large probably would have been better, or even extra extra large. I listed it for $19.95 and I had to take a best offer of $15. I don't think they would have paid any more than that because they started at like 10 and we went back and forth and ended at 15. And that's about the lowest I wanted to sell it for, but I sold it and I still made a profit on it. Most of these items that I've purchased are items that I've bought at rummage sales, yard sales, and probably paid less than $2 for. Next item is a Maryknoll Missile book. It was from 1966 and a leather bound. If they're in good shape, I always pick up Bibles and religious items. This one had some water spots on the sides, but overall, the pages and everything seemed really, really nice. They were still in really good shape. I had it listed at $14.95 and it sold for $11.25 on best offer. It depends on the type of book, the type of missile, whether it's leather bound or not, whether it'll sell for more money. This is one of the lower end ones. I've sold many Bibles and missiles for around 20 to $30. So keep your eye out for them. Next item is a Levi Strauss men's jeans, 550. And I probably won't source Levi's too much anymore unless it's a really, really nice pair and in really good shape. This one I ended up putting on sale. I had a jean sale over the weekend and I ended up finally selling it for $13.87. I still made money on it, but it was listed for 5 months and no takers. So I I had it listed at 1849, so it was time for it to go, and it sold and out the door, and I still profited on it. This next lot of religious items was left over from a box of religious stuff that I got. The other stuff had all sold, and most of the stuff was necklaces and rosaries and medals and figurines, not small figurines, but large, like statues. That stuff sells fast. This was all kind of little leftover stuff. Some of this is plastic, like that one of the little cross is plastic. The big cross is plastic, but it's a little fancier. And then this had water stains on it. So each little thing had a problem, or I didn't feel I could sell it individually. This thing was the large one had a little chip out of the bottom base. Still, $14.95 was a good price to get for that. And I sold it within 1 month, so I'm pretty happy about that to clear out some inventory that's just sitting here. Next item is these two plastic pitchers that we use for pottery. I used them a long time ago when I used the potter's wheel in my kiln, but I don't do that. I haven't done it in so long. I kind of gave up on that, but I had a lot of stuff left over, so I just pulled this out of my inventory and it said it's time for it to go. And I had it listed at $24.95 and I sold it for $20 on best offer. And that was a pretty good price for them. This, my daughter pointed out to me at Goodwill one time, and they wanted $6 for it, and I had seen it before she did, and I picked it up and looked at it and didn't really know what it was and debated whether or not to take it, and I set it back down. Well, she's a computer person, and she picked it up and she brought it to me and she goes, "Look, Mom, you got to get this." I ended up looking it up at that point and realized, yeah, I probably should. Well, I thought it would sell a lot faster. I was questioning buying it because they wanted $6 for it. If it was $5 or less, I probably would have picked it up a lot faster. But when things are over $5, I have to do research on it, and I just feel that's a little over my budget, which if I can get $40 for something, $35 to $40 for something over $5, then I'm more likely to buy it. So this one I had listed for 7 months before it sold, but it ended up selling for my asking price of $29.95 and they paid shipping on it. And it's new in the box, so it still took a while. It just has to be the right person. This next item is a Walt Disney World Goofy mug, and I got this as part of an auction haul, and I paid $12 for the whole shelf of items, and there was 3 Disney mugs on there that were kind of unique, and this was one of them. And it had a snap-on men's jacket on it, and I only paid $12 for the whole shelf plus the shelf. This ended up selling for a full asking price of $19.95, and it sold in 2 months time frame. So I was pretty happy with that. It's the only mug I've ever sold for $20. This one is it was part of a local auction, and there was prom dresses left in the end, and little girls' dresses, and from way back from like the 70s and 80s, and this was in there, and it has a real pretty shawl with it. But I felt like the dress by itself is kind of looks modern, but with that shawl on there, that brought it back to the 70s time frame. So I left the shawl off on the main picture, and I listed it for $24.95. I sent out a lot of best offers on it, and it ended up selling for $20 on best offer. And it was handmade, so the size was hard to determine for people because it was handmade. So I tell them, I make sure I put in my listing the bust size, the waist size, and all the measurements needed, especially when there's no actual size, like women's size on it. Next item was a Scylla Baby Collection cross stitch kit. You put your date on there of the birth. Look, they got 1996, so you can tell this is a vintage one. It was never opened. pretty cute. It was on sale this past weekend, and I sold it for $13.27. I had it listed at $18.95 and had a lot of offers, but just a lot of lowball offers. I finally sold it for $13.27, which is lower than I wanted, but I still made money on it, so I'm happy with that. Next item is a Tommy Bahama men's shirt, silk. It's 100% silk in a size medium. So I think that's why this one took longer to sell, because it was a medium. And it was listed for $26.95. I sent out a bunch of offers for $24.95. No takers. Finally, somebody this week sent me an offer for $20. I think we went back and forth. I think he sent it for 15 or 16, and I went down to 24, and we went back and forth and finally settled at 20. It's a nice shirt. I had a lot of nice shirts from this one rummage sale of Tommy Bahamas. Anyway, it sold for $20. The Orange County Choppers set, it's t-shirts that were extra large. I was not getting comps very high on these, even though I thought Orange County Choppers motorcycles, that people would like them. So anything under $10, I question even posting. So I decided to put these two together since they were both extra larges. And they finally sold this week for the asking price of $16.95. But it took them 5 months to sell. This next one I have on multiple platforms, but it finally sold on eBay for $29.95 plus shipping. It's a Wang Mustang 1994 30th anniversary jacket, and when I found it, it looked like it was brand new, like somebody had it folded up in a cedar chest or put away, and they never wore it. But it has the 30th anniversary dates on the back, and it's that pretty shiny material that I feel like we all had in high school. All right, next one is these rollerblades. I sold these once. They got returned because they didn't fit the person. I relisted them, and I listed them for $39.95. They ended up selling in 4 months from the second time I listed them for $30.50 on a best offer. And this next one is the melted popcorn Christmas decorations. If you ever see any of this melted popcorn stuff, it sells like crazy. I thought I would sell it faster, but I listed it 3 months ago, so that was back in February, so it was past Christmas. And I thought, what the heck, I might as well list them. And if it doesn't sell, it'll sell around Christmas time or even early or late fall. So I listed it for $14.95, thinking that was a really good price. And I finally got it sold for $13.50 on best offer. That was the 29th item, and I hope that you got some benefit out of this. Let me know if you have any questions or comments. All right, there you go. We went over all 29, and were you keeping track of which one was the winner and the loser? So let's start with the winner. The winner is the My Twin doll. She sold for $54.95, and after fees and the cost of goods, I still made a profit of about $41 on her. And the loser was the Campbell's soup spoon, the porch spoon. It sold for $8.95, and after fees and the cost of goods, which I paid about 50 cents for it, I still made a profit of $7. But that's the lowest profit I made on all the items this week. So there you have it, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got value out of it. I hope it helps you when you're outsourcing. So leave any comments below. Help me out if you have any questions, and like and subscribe. Thank you for joining us.